What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and this is my May Vlogzilla. We skipped April, but I always skip a month when we do an Ultrazilla Live, which is what we had in April, because we had to give away the Bandai items. And I hope all of them found their ways to their new owners. Well, I only heard from one of you guys, so if you see this, please reach out and say, hey, got the stuff. I hope you're enjoying it as well. It was a really fun thing to do with Bandai. I enjoyed making those videos. It was a little bit different, like for me, it was kind of like I had to go back and forth and get approvals for stuff, so I'm not really used to that. I don't know how much I like that, I'll be honest with you, but it was a good experience altogether, and it was worth my while. So I definitely enjoyed doing that. It was very, very cool. I hope you enjoyed those videos. So the last Ultrazilla Live was kind of like, it wasn't the end of them, but and it wasn't part of them either. But it was to give away the stuff in the giveaway. So that was fun. But I feel like as much as I want to do more Ultrazilla Lives, I feel like time and place, there should be a reason for it. I don't want to, I did a lot of lives back in the day, and they were great, and I really liked them, but I don't know, I feel like the more you do, it kind of dilutes it a little bit. So definitely going to be doing another live stream in the coming months. Whether it's because of the channel anniversary coming up or something else, we shall see. But definitely will be more lives. It's just gonna be one of those, I'll pick and choose the moment to do it, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying, guys? But a thing that happened that is good here, that I could have made this alive, is we did reach 16k subscribers. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the new folks that have jumped aboard. This happened since my last live, so that's very cool. Growth of the channel is what it's all about. Getting more folks on board and participating and hanging out and enjoying toys with the rest of us, whether it's kaiju toys or robot toys or anything else that might come up on the channel, because there's always something cool, right? Something different. I like to feature a lot of different things. Diversify your collections with Ultrazilla is, what I'm all about and what I always try to preach. But glad to have you all. No giveaway for 16k. I just did a giveaway. We shall see about anniversary in July. About doing something there, maybe a little something, I don't know. The bigger, things are coming, are to come. So, 10 years on the channel is next year. That's huge. I started in 2016. And as long as we keep chugging along, I would love to get to 20k subscribers sooner rather than later, but it's gonna take some growth, and it's not just up to me. It's like how YouTube presents me, and algorithms and all that. And I gotta tell you, this is good stuff aside, the last few months and growth aside, it's been a little bit of a struggle with views and getting the stuff to appear in the algorithm more. I don't know what that's about. I'm not the only one that's complained about this either. And I just don't know, what has changed in the last few months, but, I think January was pretty good, and then it started to, trickle down a little bit. So while people keep coming aboard, and that's okay, for the most part, the views I feel like have been down a little bit. There's ebbs and flows to this. There's always is. I always talk about that. But, it's definitely one of those things that I notice. And, it wasn't just me, like I said. I've noticed other folks talking about this. How in that time period, it's just not certain videos are not getting out into the algorithm as much as they should. I don't know what it's about, you know, I don't know what it has to do with, but it's definitely something that's been happening. So again, we'll see how it goes, but you know, definitely something that I've noticed, and I'm just trying to work through, because that's all I know how to do, guys, is just try to keep going. You know, I did have that break, so that kind of like disrupts the algorithm a little bit. I did have that break for like almost a week there because I was sick, and unfortunately, you know, that does disrupt things. You know, when you're in a good flow, stuff like that, you know, could definitely disrupt things. What is the solution to that? I don't know. Maybe doubling up on some videos, like on certain days, and doing like more than one video in a day. Like, not long term, but maybe have like a double up week, you know, where I kind of make up for those videos and see how, if that like triggers anything. You never know, honestly, you never know. So it's one of those things I'm thinking about for this summer, to do that at one point, maybe during Kaiju Brooklyn week, because there's a lot to think, you know, to go over. You know, it's coming up May 31st and June 1st is Kaiju Brooklyn. Really looking forward to that. It should be awesome. I've, you know, been in the space just last week. The new space that Kaiju Brooklyn is going to be in, a much bigger space. There was a Comic-Con there last week, and I was there for that, and it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be awesome. There's a lot of great guests, and like a lot of great artists, and toy companies, and, you know, guys like me. So and a lot of great panels that I've helped put together. You know, I've curated them last year and this year, so I hope you dig that. I'm going to be doing a Toy Talk panel with special guests to be announced. But yeah, it should be awesome, guys. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've had a good time in the first two Kaiju Brooklyn shows, and I'm really looking forward to this upcoming one. So, you know, that might be a good spot, you know, to throw up an extra few videos, because you guys know I like to do the, you know, kind of hype up videos for Kaiju Brooklyn. You know, I usually do a video on everything that I'm selling, all the vendors and stuff. So there might be a few in the lead up to the show that I pop up on the channel, and maybe I'll pop them up, you know, as part of Kaiju Brooklyn week, without like kind of missing a beat on the other stuff, you know, I do, because there's been a lot of stuff that's been coming in, like a lot of like cool things coming, you know, and there's some cool toys. Of course, you know, everything's a little tempered right now because of the whole tariff situation. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot on the Ultra Z News, and if you're on my Facebook page, you know, we've been chatting a lot about that on the Facebook page. And whenever there's an article, it elicits a lot of comments, and the tariff situation is really now kicking off hard, because May 1st was, you know, when everything started really going. So, you know, we've had some real low points already. Like, some retailers are taking a big hit. Some, you know, small companies are taking a big hit. Do support the small toy companies and smaller retailers. First and foremost, the bigger ones could get through this. The smaller ones are going to have a tough time. Like, to that end, I finally purchased the Korean 2-pack of Young Gary and Pulgazari from Titanic Creations. They had a deal going on, and I've been meaning to get those, you know, and I was like, you know what, let me support these guys and, you know, get these figures and, you know, give you my opinion on them. Like, I've reviewed a bunch of their figures already, and I have thanked them for, you know, previously sending me most of that stuff, right? Except for the first Titanicus that I bought. Like, the other ones they sent me that I've reviewed. So, you know, I thank them for that, and, like, you know, I don't mind buying stuff. So it was good to support them, you know, a little back and forth, you know, and This is the time. This is the time to do it. So go support them. You know, you like kaiju figures, you want them to continue. They're gonna have a hard time right now because everything is raised on every end, from retailers to factories, you know, to these toy makers. It's just like we're all, to collectors, we're all getting hit here. So they're definitely one you want to support. You want to support a store that's doing good. Support Shozi's store because they've have some good perspective on how to go about the business of doing this. You know, I recently just bought something from them that just came in this past week. You saw it on my Instagram. You'll be seeing the review of it probably this week. It's a Transformer. They do a lot of robot toys, not just Transformers, but a lot of robot toys at Shozi's store. So they're a good retailer to support, you know, like, I mean, if they're, you know, as long as everybody's forthcoming and, you know, doing things that seem right. I get it that prices have to go up, but like you heard me say, like, then you got, like, a store like Entertainment Earth that raised all their prices on everything, even in stock stuff that was already not tariffed. Like, I didn't like that at all. And that sucks because I support them, and I like shopping there as well, and I like posting links to there because I think their service is good, and I think their customer service is good. And to that end, I have had a back and forth with Entertainment Earth about both that, and as well as the vanity URLs going away, which actually I have to fix in my descriptions. Because now UZ Toys doesn't work anymore. No vanity URLs work anymore, which is a bummer. They do have a generic code. I'll put that down below for a one-time use, and I think that's wrong. Like, right now, in this time when, you know, everything is going up, and, you know, like, on May 1st now, like, anything coming over under $800 is going to be subject to it. So bad news, guys. Very bad. You know, these tariffs suck. No matter how you spin it. I don't care, you know, what side of your fence you're on and how you're spinning it. These tariffs suck for everyone. People are going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their businesses. And to what end? To what end? People are saying, oh, they're going to bring, you know, now they could bring toy manufacturing over here. Are you guys nuts? Do you know how business works? Do you know how infrastructure works? It's not set up here in the US for any of that to happen in any short amount of time to save any of these companies that are going to go out of business. So all of you guys that, like, spout this nonsense are really talking without any proper knowledge of the situation. So, like, it's really, really bad. And the fact that, like, so many people, I'm just going to say it, like, we're duped into this. Into the vote that created this. Like, I just feel like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? And it's not just a toy industry thing. It's a lot of industry things. It's a lot of things are gonna get very, very difficult. So, look, I don't want to spend a super amount of time on it. I'm sure I'm gonna talk about it in the Ultra Z news. But, you know, that's just me getting more of my feelings out, and that's what the Vlogzillas are all about. And I hate seeing these companies struggle. We're going to struggle on the collector side, and we're going to struggle as human beings, and that is the most important part, and nobody needs that. Nobody has needed that. But, you know, support the stores that, you know, sound like they're doing things right. But like I was saying about Entertainment Earth, you know, they did get in touch with me, and they said they have been getting taxed more and tariffed more since February. So I don't know the inner workings of the minute things, but I haven't seen any other store raising their prices on stuff that's already in stock. I haven't. So, you know, that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know, guys. This seems weird. And they tried to spin the vanity URL thing as a, oh, you guys are not getting enough credit for, you know, the links you post, and some people just using the you know, the discount codes. And I just think that's, like, honestly BS, because I think I don't post that without posting a link. And like, it's also you know, them another cost-cutting measure for folks not to use that. But again, we really need that right now. You're gonna raise prices? Give something back to the people. I'm kind of like flabbergasted by that one. Personally, like it hurts me relationship-wise, like how I feel on my side. I know they don't care about me that much, but like on my side of things, I just feel like, man, I don't, you know, as much as I want to support, I'm kind of like, man, you know, because I know everybody's hurting and everybody's got to do what they can. Something about all of that just does not sit well with me. I will have a package coming from Entertainment Earth because I have a bunch of credit there right now. And unfortunately, once that comes, I'll probably still have more credit, you know, next month and how it is. But look, bottom line is I hope we could all get past this stuff and cooler heads prevail, and this stuff is squashed. It is not necessary to go this way. Why create enemies out of our allies? And you know, because it's not just, you know, China getting the tariffs. It's a lot of other, you know, Japan, you know, like Europe, everyone, Canada, like it's just mind-blowing. But yeah, I will have stuff, you know, coming from Entertainment Earth as the bottom line. I'm still gonna use them at points to shop, especially if I have credit. I can't do anything about that. And I will post links here and there if I feel like, you know, folks, you know, it's the only place to get something. I will, you know, what can I do? But at the same time, I don't really feel good about any of it right now. And I don't feel 100%, you know, behind like the reasoning that they gave me personally. But you know what? There's a lot of cool stuff coming. You know, we're in the midst of a massive Transformers season right now. Like all the new stuff, Studio Series stuff coming out. The new Age of the Prime stuff is coming out. Omega Prime is shipping. That is the HasLab is shipping. I have not even gotten a shipping notice, and folks have like gotten their stuff already. A lot of people that I know have gotten it. Ben's World of Transformers got his. Our pal Prime Convoy got his. You know, like there's a lot of folks that are getting it. Our New Creature Creations got his. Like another old pal of mine from here. Like, you know, like a lot of folks have been getting their Omega Primes. Well, he got his shipping notice actually this week. I haven't gotten anything yet. It is what it is. Like the last one, I got it pretty quick. This one, I'm waiting. I'm like back in the line apparently. But it happens, and whenever they have these HasLabs, that's how they go. You know, like it's not all at once. It's a massive undertaking. So a little bit, you know, gets shipped out at a time. I get it. I'm just anxious. I want my Omega Prime. However, there has been a lot of QC issues that folks have been reporting, breakages. So I will be very careful when I get it. If you have a breakage, make sure to contact the Hasbro's customer service. Do check out Ben's World of Transformers. He has a complete breakdown on how to go about it because he is replacing one of his. So do, you know, report it and replace if you can. But there's also fixes out there, so if you want to look up those. I don't know which is right now because, again, I don't have it. I haven't really inspected it too much. Once it gets here, I'll really do my better research. But Transformer season, you know, is here, and the primes are a priming, and that giant prime that's part of the Titan class prime, Star Convoy, Star Optimus Prime, right? Is coming shortly too. So another big prime thing that I've been really looking forward to, coming very, very soon. And then we'll see, because, you know, things are backed up a little bit. Like Anguirus is supposed to come out, SH Monstars. Anguirus is supposed to come out at the end of May. I'll see when I'll be able to get that. You know, there's a bunch of new Hayatoy stuff coming. So, you know, we'll see what we get here at Casa Ultrazilla in the coming months. But also, I do want to slow it down with everything that's happening. I feel like I gotta take it down a notch too, you know, and see how things work out monetarily and, you know, job-wise. I've been working my butt off the last few months, but now there's gonna be a little bit of a slowdown period that I know of, so you know, I gotta slow it down on the spending side. So I gotta check what's coming out in the next few months and see if there's cuts I can make, and then get back to some of this backlog, because the backlog is where I've been getting a lot of the stuff for my shop. Like, I've been reviewing stuff and I'm like, all right, don't need this anymore. So and you know, it had been going pretty well in the shop. You know, it's slowed down a little bit in this new year, but I've also, I guess, posted less stuff, but you know, there's been quite a bit that's gone too, so ebbs and flows, guys. But anywho, I think I will keep it there. I've kind of gotten through everything, kind of. You know, there's like one subject I don't really want to talk about too much, you know, and that's like the ongoing like issues I've had with folks, like, you know, they just get so rude here on the channel, and nobody knows how to have an argument without like getting very snippy and coming after people, and I don't get that. I'll just keep it at that. Like, I don't understand that. I wish people were just, you know, more, you know, more cool with how they talk on the internet, and just realize time and place for things. And it's not all, you know, this isn't the end of the world, and there's no reason to get personal with folks and get snippy. And you know, you guys know, like, you guys cross a line with me, and I don't need you on my channel. You know, like, if you start offending me, offending people on my channel, I don't need you here. I don't need that, you know, negativity. Even if negativity sells, I don't need it. I don't like it, and I think it's not cool. So that's how I am, you know. It is what it is. I'm not going to change that. I'm not, because I just don't have time for it. I really don't. So there's been a bunch of those over, you know, there's been a bunch of those for a long time. But a few in the last few months that were just particularly, oh God, why do I even get into these things is the thing that amazes me, that I need to quit. Like, just don't answer certain people. Period. Don't care. I gotta start doing that, because it's better. Honestly, it's better than wasting my time. Because there's nothing like wasting your time arguing back and forth with someone, and then they cross the line, and you're like, you're done. You're banned, and then that whole thread is gone, and it's like, what was the point of that? That was just such a waste of time. So, you know, less of that would be fantastic. But anywho, guys, thanks for listening to my May Vlogzilla. A lot of cool stuff to come on the channel, regardless of tariffs. Kaiju Brooklyn's coming up. You know, I'm really looking forward to that. Seen a lot of cool folks talking on my panels, and just generally, hopefully having a good time there. All right. So, you guys let me know how you feel on any of these subjects. Keep it civil. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content, and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.